Okay, let's go off script.
Women and children only!
Women and children only, women and children first, they always say. Avoid killing them, keep them safe from harm. Perhaps it comes from our deep human desire to protect our future. So when women and children are used as armed combatants in war, it taps into some of our strongest emotions. Let's start with women. It's been going on for decades. Journalists, usually male, traveling to the jungles of Colombia couldn't help but notice how attractive female FARC guerrillas were. They wrote glowingly about their long locks and shapely figures, often at the expense of how the FARC sometimes slaughtered civilians. Israel's army noticed there's an appetite for the hot fighter meme, and they make strong use of it. The message? We have young, beautiful women fighting for values that promote the independence and liberation of young, beautiful women. The PKK has done it for years too. Tough women with weapons. The Kurdish Angelina Jolie on the front lines. Think about how your brain reacts to this. So this is without any details of who is killing whom, what is being fought for. If the picture of this side represents the pinnacle of female empowerment, what does it say about the other side? Are those they fight by default the opposite? Think of how you feel when Daesh sends a female suicide bomber. It makes it somehow more gross, a deeper example of their moral depravity. Why? Finally, let's talk about children. There are more than 300,000 child soldiers worldwide, even though the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child forbids the use of child soldiers. We know children have been routinely used by Daesh, the Taliban, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, the LRA, the Houthis. When US official Jendai Fraser justified the hunt for LRA leader Joseph Kony, she said one reason was because he uses child soldiers. But an investigation showed the State Department allowed South Sudan's military to recruit and use child soldiers because they were allies. Which brings us to this, the YPG, the Syrian wing of the terror group, the PKK, seemingly using child soldiers. This is not just condoned, but glorified by US Central Command. Now, to be clear, we don't know their age exactly, but take a look. It's the same as the people pictured fighting for Al-Shabaab or Boko Haram. They're not carrying their birth certificates on the battlefield, but we can tell they're really young. Yet no moral outrage, because they're US allies fighting Daesh. And while they do fight Daesh, their related factions also conduct bombing campaigns against civilians in Turkey. A Pentagon official said that even though it wasn't acceptable for an under-18 to be armed and sent to a war, it wasn't surprising given what was called the situation in the region and the cultural structure. Maybe Al-Shabaab or the Houthis will quote that back at the US the next time they're criticized for using child soldiers. In war, when it comes to framing narratives, women and children first. Let us know what you think.